to that region by way of my dad. He was in the military, in the Army, and we were stationed in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. And so we grew up kind of in that Midwest region, and I met my husband Jason, and he's from Kansas City. So we just kind of settled there.
Great, great. Tell me what your basic assignment, business thrust is. I got a bunch of questions.
Yes, sir.
Most of which, I gotta be careful because she provided the questions. That's always, first step you gotta watch out for. Somebody, these are the questions. You know, what brought you into doing what you're doing?
Well, right now, I'm promoting the book, Fixing Broken. So that's a new hat that I'm wearing, being an author. By trade, I'm a graphic designer and a business consultant. And so I got into graphics. Absolutely. I got into graphic design out of just a love and a passion for being creative and being artistic. And the business side of it kind of fell in my lap. As I was out doing marketing and advertising, I learned there were so many small businesses, and I was listening to the small business segment right before us. People who wanted to start a business and just really needed coaching. And so I've had our business Integrity Designs for almost 12 years now. And I really enjoy it. Integrity Designs, publications, and consulting. And so the publication piece happened maybe, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago. I started working on the book, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Well, but let me ask you, Daddy, what do you think about what she's doing?
I am absolutely proud, very, very proud. And, you know, as a parent, you know, whenever your children do something, whatever they do, they still your children, but whenever they do something great, it is just very, very awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. Good answer, and I like that. Being a parent, grandparent, great-grandparent, it's nothing better, nothing better. All right, this book, Fixing Broken, now, we've been talking about it, and this is a copy of it here. And there's some statements that without having the book, Kira sent me, you mind if I call you Kira?
Sure.
Okay. Kira sent me some questions, some things to read and look at, and it raised some thoughts, and I guessed that it was going to be a very neat thing to get into, and I want to ask you first, why did you write this? I want to write and tell and do and make sure that other people have the advantage of, and I see some of that, and but I'm not sure. Tell me why.
Well, you really touched on it. You know, when you're in a hard spot in life and you're able to get past it, you really do want to help someone else. Because, you know, my situation was, you know, our family divorce when I was really young. And, you know, I missed my dad. And there were things that I had to go through, you know, growing up, not always having them really close. And it kind of created what I call in the book holes.
Okay.
Brokenness on the inside of me. And then when I was able to get to a point in my life where, you know, I couldn't blame every decision or every bad decision that I was making on my childhood, I knew I had some work to do. And so I began to really pray a lot. I began to write a lot. I began to cry a lot. And I really started dealing with the reasons why I was making bad decisions. And so from the brokenness that we were discovering we had, I knew if I felt that way and I had a family, how many other people were feeling the same way? And so at that point, it just became kind of a burden almost. I knew it was an assignment that I had to do. I needed to encourage other people that just because you come from something that may not be ideal doesn't mean you have to stay there. You really can live past your pain. And so that's kind of how the book came about. it really was an organic process, because prior to the book, I was doing the graphics and the consulting, and I still do those things. But I started to write a newsletter, and it was called Be Encouraged. And I would find
Say
all,
that again.
be encouraged.
Be encouraged,
Be
okay.
encouraged. And I would find different topics, things that I thought were important to people. And as I was writing them, I found that there were so many other things that I could write about. And so I said, I'm going to write this and put it in a book.
So this was kind of somewhat of a growing up, somewhat of a, wow, look what I can do. This is going to, and you know, it sounds to me like the one ingredient that I really looked for years.
I think a lot of times people are really good about telling us their story and how they may have done it, but then how do I apply that to my life? And so there's assignments at the end of every chapter for them to work on their broken.
Which is fixing broken, you can live past your pain. Real applications, real life applications for the reader to work through as they read each chapter. I understand why you wrote it. I understand that it is something that you saw. Now, did this blend itself with something in your life without you having to get into that? But I mean, did you find yourself in a position where you felt like you needed to do this, and all of a sudden, like a revelation, hey, you know, that worked good?
Yes, I did. I really
Okay.
did. And I think it was, I had gotten to a point of really just, why am I keep making bad decisions? You know, and I know a lot of times, you know, coming up in a Christian home and going to church, we go to church and we pray, we go to the altar and we cry and we say, God, help me do this anymore. And you're good till about 6 o'clock on Sunday night, you know, and then you're back.
You made it that far.
You made it that far. I did. And then you realize I'm right back Monday making the same bad choices. And I just kind of got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so I knew there was something else going on the inside of me.
All right, now, where is this book available?
Well, I have some with me if you'd like some.
All right, well, I'm thinking of, there's a lot of people out in Franklin County
That need to get some, absolutely. Well, tomorrow we're actually having a book signing at the Franklin County Library at 6:30.
Cool. Ah,
And so we'll be there and we'll be talking about the book again.
we'll bring him too.
I am. I want him to come with me
All I
everywhere.
gotta do is just look at him and they can see, oh, man. No wonder she feels bad. Your life changes.
And it does. And I think that life should change. And I believe that a lot of times we get stuck in a profession or we get stuck in a job and we really don't explore all of the possibilities of who we are. And which is one of the things that I talk about in the book. You know, a lot of times people who are broken or who have been in a situation where you kind of lose your identity, you lose your self-esteem, you don't really realize the possibilities of what you can be when you're whole again. There's no place like home.
What do you think about all this stuff, Dad?
I think it's great. You know, when she wrote the book, she let me read about 4 or 5 rough draft chapters, and it was pretty catchy, pretty exciting and scary all at the same time. And then, you know, when she printed the book and I read the hard copy, it made a difference in my life. I mean, you feel a change in yourself, you know.
Had that effect on you?
Yes, sir. I know when I read the book, I cried and I called her and we talked about it. But there's so many great things in there. I think the most important part to me is, you know, as a divorced parent, you know, you don't really realize all the pains that children go through. You know, you're gone, but then her pains or the children's pains think the most important part is that, like you say, you can live past your pain if you fix that, and you can get, you know, children back in your life or whoever. It is such an awesome feeling. I mean, it's indescribable.
Folks, I wish we had a wide lens camera because we got to see this young lady smiling. Smile again. Go ahead, get the camera on her. As Daddy was telling her, don't put the camera on me, just keep it on her. As Daddy was talking,
Yes.
you're doing what you're doing now.
Yes. And you know,
That was neat. I mean, he's sold.
Yes.
but that was as much from the heart
Mhm.
as you would ever want to achieve.
Yes.
And somehow, you two, you know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, I'm pointing at somebody who's not
Yes.
going to come on camera,
Yes.
but it's a sister,
And it's
oh,
genuine.
that's neat. Yes.
That's the thing. You know, outside of the book, and you know, the book is much for us as it is for other people, but outside, if this book was never written, our broken was fixed.
Okay.
And that was a real thing, and it's very genuine. And anyone who knows us and knows my dad and knows the family, they know that it's real. That it's real.
And you know, the good thing is, if it's never too late to fix it. It's never too late. And then, you know, and I'm just thankful to God that I